Hi everybody. So I created this video for you just in case you need to revisit the steps in order to create this layout. So you're going to be needing a pencil, you're going to be needing a ruler, and also a piece of paper that's at least 8 inches by 8 inches, because that's what we're going to end up making as a square. So what I'm using is a 9 by 12 piece of drawing paper. So it's probably very similar to the size of your sketchbook. So we're going to be starting on a corner, and everything that we're going to be measuring is going to be measured off the corner. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to be measuring 8 inches from this corner. So you take your ruler, start off at the 0 mark, put a little dash at 8 inches along the top. Now you're going to make the same measurement down on the opposite side of your paper at 8 inches. So you have one up here, which is 8 inches from the left of your paper, and then you have one down here doing the same thing, 8 inches from the left side of your paper. Then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a vertical line from point to point. Okay? Drawing a line from point to point. So this whole section should be 8 inches. So you pretty much made an 8-inch rectangle that's 8 inches wide. So now what you're going to do is you're going to turn your paper 90 degrees to the left, so that line that you just made is horizontal. Along that line, from this corner, you're going to make a mark at 8 inches, just like how we did before. And from this corner that we visited before, you're going to make a mark at 8 inches from the left. So now the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to connect these two lines. Okay. So what you just made here is a square. It's an 8-inch by 8-inch square. So any of this area here you're not going to be using, nor are you going to be using any of this area. So you're going to be using this part, okay? So at this point, if you wanted to, you can carefully take a pair of scissors and cut it out. Some people prefer to fold it. I don't recommend folding it, but if you do want to cut it out, you can. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it alone. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be needing to make 4 lines. We're going to make 2 lines from corner to corner, and 2 lines, one horizontal and one vertical from the center. So the first thing you do is you make those diagonals. So from this corner here to the top corner here, you're going to draw a line. And then you're going to draw another line going diagonal from the 2 opposite corners on this side. So it's like you're making a big X on your paper. Okay? So next thing that we have to do is we're going to be making 2 lines going this way. So this vertical line that we're going to be making is going to be 4 inches away from that corner, because it's going to be halfway. And if this is 8 inches, the halfway point is 4. Okay. So you could mark it on the bottom as well. And then you're drawing a line. Now this line should go through the center here. So sometimes what I tell students to do is to just don't worry about this mark here. Just start up here, and as long as it goes through the center and keep it going, it's close enough. So now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So the measurement again, it's going to be 4 inches. It goes through the center. I didn't even mark it on the bottom here. You don't have to. Okay. All right, so this is what it should look like so far. The next step is we're going to be making marks along each of these lines. We start from the center and we're marking it at every inch. So You take your ruler. This time you start your 0 mark at the center. And you're going to mark it, this line, at every inch. You can even mark it over here at the end, at the corner, at the very, very end of that paper. And you're going to do the same process for every single one of those lines. Now, when you do the diagonals, you're going to end up, since the diagonals are a longer line, this is at 0, and you go an inch. On this line, you're going to have more dots. You're going to end up making 5. You don't have enough to put one more there. So you start from the center, and you mark it at every inch. And you just continue the process until all of these marks are done. So all of these dots should be an inch from the center. If I started my line, my dots, from the 1 inch mark here, from the corner, they're not going to be lined up. You can see they're not lined up. So if you start from the corner and you go every inch, you start from the center and go every inch. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Don't start at the corner and start marking your inches, because these lines will not line up. See how they're kind of lining up into like a circle? So again, start from the center and go every inch. Okay. Now when we're done with these, we're going to talk about smiles and frowns. So as you know, if you drew a smiley face, you curve up. If you draw a frown face, you curve down. So we're going to be drawing some smiles and we're going to draw some frowns. So I tend to start from the center, and I'm going to go ahead and draw some smiles. And the smiles are going to go from this corner to this corner, from this point to this point. That's where the corners of the mouth are going to be. And you can see that these smiles are getting bigger and bigger because the distance is growing. So you want to try to keep these lines consistent. So I'm only going to be able to draw a piece of the smile on there. So every other one, I'm going to be drawing these smiles. If you feel more comfortable drawing these lines in a different position, like if you position your paper like this and you feel more comfortable drawing them upside down, you can. You just have to make sure that these lines are all curving towards the middle, like a smile. Okay. And I'm drawing these on every other space. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces, and I'm putting the smiles in every other space. So it's in these spaces here that I'm going to be drawing frowns, and I'm using the same points as the corners of the mouth, and now I'm drawing some frowns. So you want to try to keep these frowns all pretty much kind of even with each other. And you can see over here, I only was able to make a little section of a frown, and that's understandable. Actually, this one ends up over here. Yeah. But if you need to change the direction, you absolutely can. That's why we make it in pencil, so then if you feel like you need to change something, you can just erase it. Oops, I had this marked in the wrong spot. Oh, it's a good thing this happened. It's a good thing it happened so you can see how to fix it. So it's actually this guy. Go all the way over there. All right. Again, you just want to make sure that these frowns are going, the curving away from the center. And that's it, guys. That is the layout for this project. So as I said, you did this in pencil, so if you need to fix up anything, you absolutely can. You want to make sure that these lines all connect to one another, so you might need to kind of tidy it up in the corners there if you need to. But that is it. And as I said before, if you feel like you want to cut this out, you can cut this out if you want. But this is the space that we're working in.